Unfortunately, one of the negative aspects to many religions, perhaps most religions, is the way that it divides genders and uplifts men and their right to power and leadership. It makes men's work the work of teaching and leading worship and studying scripture. Many organized religions, men govern, while the women cook and clean and nurture. That has never been my experience here at Prince of Peace, but that is part of the reality of the wider religious structures that are around us. And this is why we need to read the Mary and Martha story again. Because in these verses, in just 4 short verses, Jesus bowls over the patriarchal system that these verses are embedded in, and he does it so subtly. In fact, I think if it weren't so subtle, these verses would have been totally taken out of Scripture altogether. Because in these verses, we can read very clearly that Mary wasn't just a one-time follower of Jesus. Mary has been following Jesus. She's not just sitting at his feet right now at her sister's house. She has been following him, teaching, healing, preaching, having the same power as the men. So back to the story. Martha is honked off because Mary has been traveling with Jesus, being a disciple. And her resentment has grown and grown and grown. It's not just a day of issue. It's been weeks, perhaps months, that she has been absent. So Mary continues to do the work of being a disciple even when she comes back to her sister's home. And Martha declares her anger and frustration that her sister is acting in such a way, embarrassing the family by not doing what a woman is expected to do in her culture: cook, clean, and be hospitable. Because sometimes the women in our midst are the hardest on us. And this is what is happening in the dichotomy in the relationship between Martha and Mary. Amazing, isn't it? 2,000 years ago. And so Jesus says to Martha, "Martha, Martha, you're worried." Literally, the Greek word, strangled by your many things. You're distracted. You're torn apart internally is the Greek word. You're torn apart by this change. This is hurting you. But your sister has chosen the better part, to follow me, and that will never be taken away from her. In other words, Jesus says, I will not take away her freedom to be my disciple. Again, in just 2 verses, Jesus strikes down the patriarchal way, opens the door and the way, capital W, the Jesus way, to all people, both genders, all people. Hidden in plain sight, this clear story of equality and hoped for systemic change.